Hey everybody, and welcome back to A Cow's Channel, where we are on A Cow's Opinion, where I go over the latest and unfortunately the biggest news, because this isn't greatest news today. And today we'll talk about Amazon laying off 9,000 workers. Now, why does that matter for a gaming channel? Because 400 of those 9,000, or almost 5%, I can do math. Yeah, it's approximately a little less than 5% are coming from everybody's favorite streaming platform, Twitch. This is A Cow's Opinion. That's right, I don't have music. Never mind. So, unfortunately today, Amazon decided to do another round of layoffs. They did their first one earlier this year. And if you think I'm trying to avoid saying January, I am. Because it's only March of 2023. And they're doing another round of layoffs. So 400 Twitch workers are going to be impacted by Amazon's expansive layoffs announced Monday, according to this Polygon article. From the new Twitch CEO, Dan Clancy. Now, former Twitch CEO Emmett Shear stepped down. We'll get into why he stepped down in just a second. The company is cutting 9,000 jobs across all of its massive number of tech support stuff and corporate offices. And the sucky thing is, these employees at Twitch, I don't even know, and maybe even all of Amazon, they don't know if they're getting impacted or not. You're going into Twitch right now, and you don't know if you're going to have a job next month. In fact, they were told no later than early next week. So, Monday, Tuesday, minimum 7 days before you know if you're going to have a job, according to an email from Clancy reviewed by Polygon. Now, 2 people have confirmed to this. Both of them are being kept anonymous because, again, they don't know if they have a job, and they don't want this to be the thing that determines if they do have a job or not. And there's been an update that has caused confusion among staff from Amazon CEO Andy Jassy. I had to skip a minute because I accidentally... This is how stupid it is. I'd accidentally loaded something from the CEO in January talking about those layoffs, when in actuality I wanted something today, March 20. This is how you know you're having too many layoffs, man, when you can't figure out which CEO memo you're supposed to reference for the show. So, the memo states, some may ask why we didn't announce these role reductions with the ones we announced a couple of months ago. The short answer is that not all of the teams were done with their analysis in the late fall, and rather than rush through these assessments without the appropriate diligence, we chose to share these decisions as we made them so people have the information as soon as possible. So that is the update. There's also issues where they're talking about, the stuff is being leaked and they want to get out to the workers first. But, I mean, if it's coming from the head offices, then one of you idiots are leaking it. I'm disappointed to share the news this way before able to directly communicate to those who are impacted, but it's important for you to hear directly from me confirming this difficult news. Yeah. In other words, somebody caught on to the fact that these people are saving their own butts and covering their own stupidity, which we'll cover at the end of the article. So, the memo is, as every other tech company, blaming it on the current macroeconomic environment, which is a basic way of saying we didn't predict the market very well. Now, as you know, during the worldwide health event of a few years ago that we're still winding down from, and I can't say the name because I don't want this video to be suppressed by YouTube, a lot of people were home a lot more, and so we consumed more media, we consumed more streaming services, we consumed more online games and chat programs and such, because that was how we had to connect with our friends. And now that we can go outside again, for some reason, these tech companies all thought that these new highs were going to stay, but they're not. Gaming's still going to do very well. It's very profitable. But it's not the only option in town anymore, and nobody planned for an eventual recovery of the worldwide health crisis. So, he's saying that user and revenue growth did not meet expectations. Basically means they promised their shareholders and their executives and their board of directors a lot more than is feasibly acquirable in 2023 without everybody being kept indoors. In order to run our business sustainably, we've made the difficult decision to shrink the size of our workforce. Twitch did not comment any further, and it will not confirm their total headcount. Now, the article goes on to talk about how it was founded as Justin.tv in 2007, became Twitch in 2014, and Amazon purchased them for $1 billion. So the people who worked hard to build the company, they got paid at least. And had a great run during the pandemic. The platform, already dominating, was more popular than ever, and viewership numbers have declined, but they're still... That's what I want to focus on. The viewership naturally declined because we can go outside again, but they're still high. This is also not Amazon's first round of layoffs, as I had to confess stupidly, because I pulled up an CEO quote from the January layoffs. This is their second, which means that tens of thousands of people are losing their jobs. And that was more focused first on the stores. And now we're having a lot of this happen. The article concludes by talking about how Microsoft has 10,000 job cuts to impact studios like Bethesda and 343 Industries, which are making really big games. Let's talk about Halo Infinite, but that's already up. I think that meant which made the upcoming... I don't know why they wrote it that way. Unity Software, Riot Games. Why are the layoffs happening? But honestly... Here's the thing. These companies planned on a straight upline worth of growth. And in 2021 and 2022, you had something keeping people at home, locked indoors, and needing to have some escapism, which helped your numbers officially. But none of these corporate morons planned for what happens when it's safer to come out. And they thought that they would always have record-breaking numbers. So they staffed up and just didn't understand. And it's the workers that are suffering from this. So here's the why all those... Didn't they just have record-breaking profits? Yeah. This is an article from January when they had the first round of tech layoffs. And as you've noticed... This is really only happening in the tech industry. The industry that was very, very dependent on everybody staying home. All other industries are still doing okay. Now, they might have some. I mean, economies they could spread a bit to regular economies. You are having tens of thousands of people being laid off. But that alone is probably not enough here in the U.S. to push us into any type of recession or economic downturn. It just really freaking sucks that these corporate morons paid themselves massive bonuses and hired lots of people for the good times to roll and are now saying, oh, well, we had record-breaking profits, but it's going to be lower this year, so we have to cut costs. Let me tell you something. In 3 to 5 years, with regular growth, which is probably a safe bet that they will have at least regular growth, in 3 to 5 years, they're going to need these people back. And it's going to cost a lot. The end of this article talks about whether layoffs actually cut costs is debatable. Because again, in 3 to 5 years of regular growth, you need the people you just let go. Not only that, but do you have any idea how expensive it is to lay someone off? Even if you only give them 4 to 6 weeks of severance, you have to pay them for nothing for 4 to 6 weeks. And you have to have their benefits where you're paying a majority of the cost usually on those too. It's a lot of money. You're not going to make any money on that person. And then years later when you have to hire for the job expansion, do you know how much it costs to hire somebody? It costs twice their annual salary, studies have shown, to hire someone. Even if you're only making 30, 40 grand a year, and these tech workers are probably making better than that, but even if you're only making 30 grand a year, it costs you another 60 grand to hire them, because you have to find them, then you have to interview them, then you have to train them, you have to onboard them, which is where you go over all of their benefits and everything, and you also have to give them benefits and health insurance and open new accounts, and, security has to issue them IDs. IS has to figure out how to build their security into the website. What about the fact that HR has to conduct the interviews and find the people? It's very expensive. This is honestly dumb short-sighted thinking for stock prices that will be okay. I've been watching some Jim Cramer, and he's talking about how more layoffs need to happen in the tech sector. But no, I think they just overstaffed 5 years early. But when you're having record-breaking profits and like Twitch is still really high on views and money, if Twitch comes out at the end of this year, early next year, and says, oh, we still hit 95% of our money goals. Well, Twitch's profit margin is bigger than that 5%, so you should have kept these people. Because now these tech companies are going to have a harder time staffing if they have a reputation for treating people poorly. I'm just frustrated, you guys, but that is what I've got today for you. What do you think in the comments below? Do you think Twitch needs to be firing 400 people? Now, it's probably not Twitch's fault. Don't go find the CEO. Don't go find Mr. Clancy and troll him. Because first of all, this is the CEO right here, Emmett Shear. He's the one who was presiding all of this, and he just a couple of days ago stepped down. So Mr. Clancy hasn't done anything. Doesn't mean he won't. He's human. He may be a scumbag. We don't know. But he hasn't done anything wrong yet, and he's inheriting this mess. As well as, I don't know if Twitch wants to let go of 400 of their staffers, because I don't know if this isn't just Amazon saying, hey, X percentage cuts are on the board. Here's your portion. Find me 400 people and ditch them. Well, what if I need these 400 people? Nope, get rid of them. Big corporations will err on the side. 400 people can be a rounding error for a big corporation of 100,000 plus. That's a fraction of 1%. And across all of Amazon, it's literally 400 is a rounding error. They probably don't even notice how much this might hurt a decent public-facing portion of their businesses. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you want any other news, anything that has happened, I will comment on it. Let's find some good news because, dear God, we need some good news. And thank you so much for watching Playable Games, because games are awesome and you deserve the awesome. I'll see you next time.